It's stuck. Anyway, so let's get to it. Today we're gonna finish off the pastries that we made Tuesday. We're gonna bake the ones that that we froze, and then I'm also gonna toast off the other ones that I put in the fridge. My oven actually just preheated to 400, so we'll put those in here in just a minute because I'm gonna put them on a different cookie sheet because the one they're on is really small and I don't think it'll work. So we can actually pull that out. We'll go ahead and do this. And then we're going to make an English muffin dough. We're gonna make an English muffin dough. And with that, we are going to we're gonna let that rest while we put together the butter for puff pastry. So right now, the plan is Tuesday puff pastry, Thursday do something with it. So if there's any ideas, I'm open to them. Right now, I basically have ideas with like apple turnovers. Not the worst idea, but not entirely. Okay. All right, I apologize. I'm gonna be a Twilight vampire for a minute. It's that way that light hits me. I hate the way that looks. But I have no way if this is gonna turn off. And I took it out of the oven really fast, so it's warm, but it's just gonna sit there and be happy. Sit there and be happy. All right. I know I always spend the first like 10 minutes setting up everything. And this is even I spent the time setting up everything too. All right, so pastries. One of the things I found with the ones that I baked on Tuesday is I don't think I put the hole through enough, and a lot of them had a big air pocket in them. And so Like, I'm pretty sure these are going to have a big air pocket too. So I'm just concerned about that. I'm hoping that with these these I cooked most of the way through. Like you can see they're lightly brown, but they're not the dark kind of golden brown that we need. I'm hoping that baking these at 400 degrees for a little while will toast them up so that they can finish cooking, but that everything's not going to be like so spread open that it keeps oozing out, because like that's definitely broken, and then you can see it oozing on the side here. That started oozing a little, and so I'm trying to keep this from like fully oozing out everywhere. I'm hoping that'll do something there, but like see, this went most of the way through, um, but they didn't do right. Um, they still like puffed up instead of like staying together with the filling in the middle. It like puffed up. Like some of them were like puffed up huge like this, and some of them were a little bit less. So I'm hoping that if I score them more, that it'll be less. See, these two are the berry filling. So this is the berry filling. This is where I rolled it out a little bit thicker, and then this one is the one where I rolled it out thinner. And so I think I'm gonna do like, oop, there we go. That's all the way through, all the way through, all the way through, all the way through. Yeah. So I'm gonna do like 5 holes. Um, and I'm going all the way through the top layer, so that I'm hoping that'll give it room for the steam and everything to escape, but that um, it won't puff up so bad. That's what I'm hoping for. Holy cow, words are hard. And English is my first language. I can't imagine if it's your second language, because that could be, words were really hard. I don't want to bake this stuff too close together, but I want to fit everything on one sheet because I don't want to have to have 2 sheets. I don't like washing dishes, and if I can keep from washing dishes, I'll do that. Here, let's move you a little bit closer so that we're actually talking to each other instead of, put the knife down somewhere safe, but instead of having you look at me from far away. There we go. So I'm just gonna like turn my back so you can look. You can look at the back of my head. Isn't it so pretty? I had pictures, and I don't like my hair down, so it's. But I need my hair out of my face because hair and food is not yummy, and especially now that it's bright orange, you can definitely see it. Anyway, what we're gonna do for this is like a dice of 5 dice, 5 dice. Anyway, so what are we gonna do on here? I would like to do like some kind of, let's see if we can do slash marks, because we have to get all the way through into the fruit filling. Here, we'll do it like dash marks like that. Ooh, there we go. That's pretty. I like that. See, you know, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. Ooh, I'm getting down into the berry. You can see it. So overall with these, when I tried the first batch, I like the the berries. The berries. I like the berries the best. Um, the jam and just cooked down a lot, and so it was just wasn't my favorite. It was more kind of weird and gummy than it was like fruity and chewy, I guess. Put it in weird ways. Um, so I jingled because I figure these are coming out soon, so they can be all together. Anyway, but yeah, no. So I like the fruitiness of the pie filling better than the jam. Words are not working. All right, so I think that should cook for about 20 minutes or so. We'll check. Um, we'll check. At 12:50 on there right now. So the next thing was English muffins. So first things first, we need a bowl. Apparently, always. Right. We have a bowl and a kitchen scale. I think the funniest thing about this cabinet up here is this is actually my coffee cabinet. I keep my kitchen scale in my coffee cabinet because I weigh out my coffee every morning, and so I just keep it together. But it also makes sense because this is like our baking cabinet and it's right next to the coffee cabinet, so it's close. Not quite, but close. Okay, so this is Josh Weissman. This is his recipe I'm trying to follow. Keyword there, trying. Um, in I watched his video, and in that he blooms his yeast in water and milk that he heated up. I don't like to bloom yeast. I don't have a reason for it. There's nothing. I just don't like to do it. And so I don't want to, and I'm not going to. So I'm going to get a liquid measuring cup and I'm going to go ahead and measure out the water and milk and get that heating up. But I'm going to put the butter in that too. That'll be awesome. Okay, we have plans. This is fun. I like it. But I'm going to just put the yeast in with the dry ingredients, and then I'm going to pour them in together and mix it. And I have never had it not work for me. Now watch this be the time that it doesn't work, and then I'll be upset. But I've never had it not work yet. So we'll see what happens. You may come right behind you. We're going to need a cup of liquids. So let's take this cup and take the measuring cup. Let's leave this open. Okay. Measuring cup. Measuring cup. Measuring cup. Yes, because it's like Beetlejuice. If you say it 3 times, then it is helpful and appears. Not that it wasn't there to begin with. grab sugar. No, we should be good. Okay, so we need half a cup. No, I'm just gonna go get the water first. Half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of water. I'll just and then the same amount of milk. Technically, the recipe is for whole milk, but I have 2%, so I'm going to use the 2%. Okay, so we need we need half a cup. Half a cup. Half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of water, but then we also need half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of milk. So I'm going to go ahead and do the milk while it's still at an even level. It's on the line. So then I'm going to go ahead and add the half a cup of milk so it's still on the line, and then I can just add the 2 tablespoons. Oh, yummy. And when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that you take your final look from head on, because distortions and stuffs, there's science. Yeah, there's science to it. Do I remember the exact science? No, but the takeaway is just get on level with it and measure it that way. That's the takeaway here. Okay, so 1, 2, then this is the hard one. 1, 2. All right, so that's the liquids. And this is 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Since I am going to heat this mixture up anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put the butter in here. All right. I don't know. Let's see. Lines. Just gonna estimate by the lines, and yes, I'm just gonna use my screwdriver knife. Screwdriver knife. We're gonna estimate it. So it's about there. And I'm gonna cut it down a little bit just to make it easier to melt. But okay. And this is gonna go in the microwave for it's probably going to be in the microwave overall for like a minute or so, but I'm going to do it in 30-second increments. Okay, I'm going to turn the microwave on for 30 seconds. Like, watch the sounds. And so from here, we're going to do our flour, which is 4 cups of flour, which if a cup is 120 grams, then if a cup is 120 grams, then that should be 480 grams of ADHD kicking in. I love it. Oh, we can still do this. This is fun. So we got another 30 seconds. noisiness. And so I'm going to measure out the 480 grams of flour. While this does this. I need to look into the manual and see if I can find the instructions on how to turn off the beeps on it. Especially this microwave will just keep beeping after it's done. It beeps like every minute or so to let you know that it's still done, and it's still done, and it's still done. So it's best to get it early before it drives you insane. 440, 460, 469, 476, 479, 480. Yay! All right. 480 grams of flour, approximately 4 cups. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. Actually, let's mix this real quick. That's warm enough. I think the butter will melt, or at least it'll be melted enough. I'll just keep stirring it because I can feel on the outside of this that it's warm, and we don't want this hot anyway because we just don't like hot. But there, look, I stirred it up. There's a couple little butter chunks, but I think here in the next few minutes they'll melt, and so we'll let this kind of chill out a little bit. All right. The things have been in the oven about 10 minutes. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pull out, and we're going to check on these ones to toast them. I should have put these on another tray. They're definitely soft and melty right now, but they do need more time. They're still really loose. They haven't crisped up at all, and yeah, they just need more time. So I don't think that that's going to be something that I can have just like crisp up in a toaster oven. I think they're going to have to be cooked all the way through. So there's that question answered. All right. We'll go ahead and do the tablespoon of yeast so I don't forget about it. On the instructions, a tablespoon of yeast was the first thing on there. And I did not. Oh, I didn't change the order that I wrote everything down. So it's the first thing on my ingredient list. But if you know about reading recipes, which I'm assuming you do, when you do a recipe, you usually go down the list of ingredients and you use them as they're listed. But I had dry yeast as the first ingredient because it goes in with the liquids when he did it, but I'm doing it different. So I'm down in the middle of my dry ingredients and it's like, wait a second, let's get this taken care of before I forget about it. So just a tablespoon of dry yeast. A little extra never hurt anybody. All right. 12. So it's 12 grams. We'll put that in our brain for future use. Okay, so 12 grams of yeast. And then we need a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. I used salted butter. So since I used salted butter, I'm not going to add the salt today just because of that. What are we making? English muffins. Well, see how that works out. Tablespoon of sugar, yes. All right, let's turn this off. All right, turn that off. So when he did it, we're probably gonna need that again, but shh, just gonna leave it. Anyway, when he did this, he just went in with his hands and mixed it. Um, I'm gonna be a little pris, and I'm going to use a spoon to mix it because while I will need it with my hands eventually, I don't like my hands being goopy, and if I can avoid it, I will. So this is me avoiding goopy hands for as long as I can anyway. All right. So I'm just mixing up the dry ingredients, and that's the flour, sugar, and yeast. I didn't put the salt in here because I have salt in my butter. And I put the butter in. I just switched the where the butter and the yeast go. I put the butter in with the liquids instead of with the dry ingredients. Well, when adding it, like he added it separate by itself. So I just put it in with the liquid ingredients. So this is a way to mix things that I've usually had work. It's usually not been at least too much of an issue, or if an issue at all. But things are what they are. All right, so pour this in here. Hopefully this will be warm enough. This bowl is not big enough. We're gonna get a bigger bowl to proof it because I'm delusional. I didn't expect this to be this way. All right, that's been like 5 minutes on the things in the oven now. Yeah. So, yeah, I can't do anything about it right now, but I advise if you're going to bake fresh things and toast other things that you put them on different sheet pans because I didn't do that, and the things don't look happy. Like the things that were raw and frozen, they look very melty, and I know they don't appreciate me opening and closing the oven on them. But the other things need checked on more often, and they need they need to be taken out early. So not my best idea to try to bake them at the same time. But that's what we're doing. We're learning. We're learning. Oh my gosh, we just learned a lesson. I love it. We just learned a lesson. All right. We are about to need to take a minute. Okay. Yep. So right now we're going to take a minute and everybody's going to move over for a few minutes because I need this service to meet on. So, yeah. We're going to move back. Moving on back. Moving on up. Better be moving on up. All right. We'll rotate this on here. Give us more space. Let's put you down a little bit more. We're gonna look at the thing. I was gonna use that silicone mat to roll things out on, but I didn't want to. Okay, this is just flour from earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off just to be safe because I just washed this container and I refilled it with flour, and when I did, some puffed out onto the counter. And that's what that is. So we're just gonna wash this just to be super safe. So I'm like, I cleaned it, but then, yeah, I also refilled the flour. Oops. All right. The biscuits are looking happier, so that's a thing. I like that they're looking happier. This is really like twilight. There we go. Maybe that looks better for me anyway. I look like a Twilight vampire. And no, it's not true. But it's only from that angle. Like if I look straight on, I don't look like a Twilight vampire. But if I turn to the side, I'm totally a Twilight vampire. Go figure. All right, we're kneading dough. Like, what are we doing? Okay. So, one of the things that you can do in order to keep your hands from having dough stick to them is to coat them in flour um before you tackle. Oh, before you put your hands into dough. Yeah, like I said, the brain fog is real right now. But we're still here because I want to be here. Even if my brain is disagreeing with me. It's alright. So, because this is about as mixed as I can get it on here, and there it is still kind of doughy here, but I think this is the time to knead it, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be stickier than I like to deal with, because like if it was all like this, I would nope. Well, I would still do it if it needed it. Like if that's the texture it needed. I've done it before. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want to take my toys and go home. Anyway, see, there's like all the flour and everything on the bottom, but it's still like there's still sticky spots. So I think that it'll just fold in together nicely, is what I'm hoping for. All of that. I break off the stuff on the sides. And it's also helping to get the stuff off of my finger, which is really helpful. All right. Put that in the sink in a minute, maybe. Yes. Yes, that one needs to go into the sink. We need to not have that one anymore. So yeah, we're just kneading it until it all comes together, and it does need to be kneaded for a little bit. I think he said like 5 minutes. That's not too bad. This is not like hours and hours of kneading. I would hate that. But like there's stickiness coming out, but there's still a lot of flour. And I know I put some flour down too. I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad idea. Well, when the dough feels like it's come together enough, I guess I can just um like stop putting it into flour. That's that's an option. And then there's like chunks in here, but they'll do something. I can sift them out, or we'll just throw that part away or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But like it's still like it's being sticky, but it's like I have to work in the flour. Because there's chunks in there, and you're not supposed to knead in chunks like this. You're not supposed to. Like it can leave dry parts in your dough, like in your final product, that just like don't taste good and they don't feel good in your mouth. Um, am I doing it anyway? Yes, because I don't want to filter them out right now. And this is what I'm doing right now. So they're just going to be part of life. I've been working on the railroad. Let's see. How do we change that? I've been working on kneading dough for the last 30 seconds. Like it's a thing. But like, see, this is actually starting to feel pretty good. So I don't even know if I need like all of like that's quite a bit. But we'll see. Maybe it'll get sticky here in a sec and I'll want to add more flour. But for the most part, it's feeling pretty good right now. And it's kind of ripping, but um, we'll see. Oh, you know what? That is smelling fairly toasty. Let's get those out of there real quick. Yep, I think they're done. I smell them. That's what makes me think they're done. And they look fairly toasty. So, silicone. We're just going to pull these out real quick. And the biscuits actually look like they're just about done. Oh, I gotta set this down. That's getting way too hot. The biscuits look done too. So that was 25 minutes from when I put them in. Technically 26, but I'm not paying attention to that. And so this, if I think that if the biscuits are done, then the berry biscuits should be done too, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I want to go ahead and pull those out. All right, so we just have actually the frozen pies. The frozen pies are still super duper pale. There's one that's spilling out the edges, and let me show you all real quick. See, they're still super pale. This one's spilling everywhere. These were the jam. These are the berries. So far, the berries are holding. This was the thick crust, thin crust, thick crust, thin crust. And so I think this is more a technique thing than a dough thing. So I'm going to put these back in for a little bit longer. This is going to spill everywhere. We're just going to finish letting them cook. All right. So let's keep kneading. So right now the dough feels, it's moist, but it's still like it feels like it's together a lot more. But overall, yeah, it's feeling pretty good. I don't think I'm going to need to add any more flour to it. I think it's doing its thing just fine. Quick idea. Let's see how this does. Let's put it here. We'll take you guys and put you under here. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's a little too low, but here we go. Oh, see, now it's a lot easier to actually talk to you while I'm kneading this. I probably have kneaded it enough. I want to make sure it's a little bit more elastic than it is. Why? I don't know, because that's where I like the dough. That's where I want it. Is that what the recipe calls for? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what he said. I thought he said until it was elastic or something like that. So good enough, right? Right. Anyway, I think that's about where I want it. It feels very dough-like. I'm gonna get another bowl. I think we're gonna need a bigger bowl. Okay. I'm gonna take. So I'm taking just a little pinch of butter. And I'm just gonna rub it inside the bowl because it's supposed to be like a greased bowl, and I used butter in the recipe, so I figure why not use butter as the grease. So just gotta rub it in to grease the bowl. Spread it out. I feel like this is the hard way, especially since I have cooking spray sitting right here. Like, quite honestly, that easy of a grab, cooking spray. But that's all right. It's okay to like to do things the hard way, I promise. Okay, so I'm gonna set this on the counter way over yonder. So that it can rise. Technically, it's supposed to rise for an hour. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm gonna take this flour and we're gonna get rid of it. Okay, I gotta learn where the camera is now. I got used to it over there, and I keep looking, and you're not there anymore. And I left my towel all the way over here, of course. So that's fun. Okay, so the pies are finishing baking. The biscuits are baked. The reheated pies are toasted, and that's going pretty well. Actually, here, let's go ahead. This is one of the biscuits. These were all the way frozen. So I didn't get a good cut there. These were all the way frozen. They were frozen for 2 days. So these were definitely frozen. And it was a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, that they were out in the air while I was moving them around on the trays. They did kind of start feeling a little tacky, but they were in no way thawed. And so these were about 25 minutes from completely frozen in a 400-degree oven. They're nice golden brown on the bottom, and they have a nice little gold on the top. I forgot to do stuff to those other ones. Oops. Oh well. And we open it up. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. I see steam. And they're nice and buttery. And quite honestly, to me, this almost looks like a Pillsbury biscuit. Yeah, no, that looks amazing. Hmm. These are so buttery, but I think a little bit of butter on here would make it amazing. Some butter and jam. We'll do that a little bit later. I think maybe I just didn't, because I used the salted butter, so I didn't put any salt in the dough. So I think with that butter, I could have used just a little bit of salt because the flavor's a little flat, which is why I want to add some more butter to it. Quite honestly, probably adding a little salt to it would fix it and be fine. Just like a sprinkle of salt on it would probably do amazing. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to do, well, not last thing, The next thing, the other thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to combine some butter to make a rectangle-y thing to make puff pastry. So these have been sitting out on the counter. Actually, they've been sitting on the stove, and so this side actually feels a little melted. This side's still a little hard. So I'm going to set those over there while I get something to wipe up the flour because I just don't want that on here. I'm going to do all of this on wax paper, and so it's not going to be an issue for that. I don't want the wax paper to be sliding around on the board here, the table counter. Oh, welcome to baking with ADHD. Oh man, that was not the intent, but that might be the solution. Solution? I think is solution the wrong word? Is it? What is the end result? I feel like it's solution. Well, like when you're doing a math problem, it's solution anyway. I know math. Oh, I'm so happy that my kids got my math abilities. That's um yeah, they're awesome at math. They just I need to spend more time with them reading and writing because they're not doing as well as they should. We already read for 30 minutes to an hour a day, but I need to get them to like read out loud or write something down. We'll work on that. Uh, but overall, they're doing they're doing better than I expect them to. So I don't know if that's good or bad, especially since they're failing writing. Ugh, but they're working on it and they're improving. So like, what else can I ask for? Nothing. I guess technically I could ask for the world. Um, I don't feel it's realistic. I'm not gonna do it, but I could. I need you to climb Mount Everest. That is now the new good standards for children. You now need to climb Everest before you're 12. Do not take that as a personal challenge, Internet. No, no, we don't need 12-year-olds climbing Everest. Like, they could probably do it. Like, there's probably a 12-year-old that's like, yeah, that's my dream. I'm going to do it. Okay, you one 12-year-old with your parents' supervision, who I imagine this kid he would have had a parent that's probably done it like 2 or 3 times. And so the kid would be just like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. Like, dad's already done it. Mom's already done it. Whoever's already done it. Like, maybe they're the ones who do it. Or maybe it's just like a kid that's a real big fan of the person and then like goes with the person. But that's who I'm seeing do that. Your average 12-year-old is not going and doing these things. I have, well, my boys are 9, so they're gonna be 10 soon. Decade. They're a decade old. They're double digits. Were they born yesterday? I think they were born yesterday. I don't know what happened. I keep telling them all the time. It's like, who gave you permission to grow? Like, I didn't give you permission. Who gave you permission to get this big? They've caught on and they start saying you did by feeding us. I'm like, good point. Yep. They start being little men. It's scary and cute. there a word for mixture of scary and cute? I think that whatever that word is, it probably has German origins. And if you're from Germany, you probably agree. Just saying. All right. So basically, I softened up the butter, and we're basically just trying to squish it into a single piece of butter that's just gonna get cold and like squashed together. Oh no! No, no, it's coming out the edges. No, not happening. Yeah, walk into the butter. That's the only way to make it work. Scrapers are amazing. No scraping. Scraper, all the scraping. Yeah, but scrapers are amazing because they just, there's so many things that you can use them for. I use them all the time when I'm baking. They're not necessary, but it sure helps. It sure helps. It's like, is a cell phone necessary? No, it's not necessary. You don't have, well, I guess you have to have at least a cell phone. You have to have some, well, you don't have to have some kind of phone. You can just be off the grid, not talking to anybody. That's an option. That is an option. Not an option lots of people are going to take, but it is an option. Yeah, no, I don't think it's an option people should have to take. But in general, everybody needs a cell phone. Not everybody needs a smartphone. It's helpful. It's heck of helpful. Like I do all my banking on my smartphone. I do everything. I'm recording on my smartphone. Like this camera right here. You are my smartphone. Like, so it's incredibly helpful to have a smartphone. But is it necessary? No, I wouldn't have to have a smartphone. As long as there's like a phone number for people to be able to contact me, it's probably all I need. No! Yes. Uh-oh. Oh. I don't want to put this in the butter. Just gonna fold this in half. We're gonna need the butter. Excuse you. Nobody told you you could stay behind. There it goes. And that's basically what we're doing. I'm technically trying to like roll out the butter, but I think it technically needs kneaded first. Not that like this isn't a step in the book to doing the butter. Technically, it just says you need this much butter, and to make it flat, it technically has ratios that you're supposed to do. Am I paying attention to those? No, not at all. But it's okay. That's okay. I'm sure it'll turn out fine anyway. Because I think that the general idea of just having some really, like a big piece of flat butter is the important part. So the recipe I'm using says 400 grams, and these sticks measured at like 115 grams. So by using 4 of them, I'm technically using like 460 grams, but don't come for me, okay? But I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't think having that extra 60 grams is going to make it so that it doesn't work. So I'm just gonna not pay attention to those 60 grams. Those 60 grams and I are just gonna pretend like we don't, like the other one doesn't exist. Cool. All right, I'm trying to line these up and get like a good squished out butter, but I don't want it to like overrun the lines. So let's just I'm not watching this very well. You know what? I'm starting to smell the crusts on the pies. So I'm going to need to check those in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just putting my hand on the edge outside of here and rolling it in as a way to kind of push it away from here. Part of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it have like a sharp edge here. The other thing that I'm trying to do is push all this material down because I don't want it there. It's simple as that. All right, and so I'm also trying to do a square on this side. So I'm trying to even up this side and then push it out. I think this is going to be too thick, but this is about the size and shape that I'm making it. I'm just trying to get it more rectangular. I think that's rectangular enough. Oops. Okay. So I'm just wrapping up the edges, and I'm going to put this in the freezer until Tuesday. Technically, it says to go in the fridge, but I'm going to freeze it. So it wants to be really, really, really cold. I think frozen is colder than in the fridge for 8 hours, but it's going to be over the weekend anyway, and it's just butter, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, butter going into the fridge, freezer. Put it on the freezer. And I gotta wash my hands. I'm gonna use something to wipe up the butter from here. Again, I keep leaving my towel over here. Like, yes, it's convenient for while I'm over here, but let me see if I put it over here. All right. I need to get these things out of the oven. What am I doing? Oh, they're still good. They're still fine. They're still fine. So we're just cleaning this up for now. All right. Since since that's still doing its thing, what I figure we can do is we can look into these little puppets. Let's make this go more down. But I think to do that, we're gonna need to make longer legs. Make longer legs. Make this go more down. Ooh, too much down. There we go. All right, let me grab. So this one is the jam one from the other day when we baked it. I had this out on the counter. But we're gonna break it open, and this is the thicker dough. you can definitely see that it's fairly thick. And can you see that pocket in there? It's kind of hard to see, but like there's an air pocket from where that was sitting. Like now that we've broken it, we can make it down flat, but there's definitely a pocket to that. This is delicious. But you can see like this is more like a hot pocket. And so I'm hoping to yeah, it's still good. But yeah, not hot pocket. This is more like with the flat, this is more like the um Pop Tarts. But this seems to be the thinner dough. The dough is thicker. It does taste more like a pie. It tastes more like a traditional pie, which is part of the reason why I think I like the berry mix better because it has more of that traditional pie kind of flavor to it. And the thinner dough reminds me more of the Pop Tarts, but it's very crispy and flaky. I think that to have it as the thinner dough um, for the Pop Tarts, it would probably be a good idea to add some lard or some shortening just to kind of give it a little bit more stability because this is so flaky. Um, Actually, let's go ahead and pop this one open. So this is the one with the jam. Nope, this is the berry one. This is the berries. It's more like you can see the difference here. This is the berries. This is the jam. The berries just look they're so much more moist, and the jam is just like thick and thick and sticky. So like moist and pie like, thick and sticky. Mm, let's see. Yep, the fruit has a very creamy consistency because of the pie filling. Um, with the other ones, it is more of that Pop Tart kind of jam feeling, which completely makes sense. It's just starting to make me nervous because the jam has bubbled out everywhere. The jam is everywhere. Okay, yeah, those are done. Ooh, I think I might have overbaked these. These are fresh out of the oven. They're nice and toasted, nice and brown. I forgot to egg wash them and all that pretty stuff. Um, I'm talking through my phone. Ow, that's getting hot. Yeah, yeah. You can already see the jam ones are the jam ones. They've leaked a lot of the stuff out, and they're very goopy and sticky. That might be just I baked them too long because they've been in there for about an hour. So I might have just baked it for too long, but they're in there for like 50, 55 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I want to check these. These are the jam ones. This is the thicker crust, which is what this one is. So I want to compare these two against each other. So with the thicker crust, I think this one had more jam in it too, and this one didn't like burst open. But that's pretty good. That it does still have that pocket, that air pocket. I'm not sure how to get rid of those. We'll check these because I'm not sure if they both burst or what. We'll have to see. But I'm going to stop talking through the phone. Put you a little bit more over here. That's loud. A little bit more up. Up, up, I say up. Okay. Can't turn that light off. I don't want you looking right at the light. Look into the light. You know what? I'm not kneading right now, so we'll move you back. Flying through the air. All right. Get you back over here. So you're not looking. Do not look into the light. Okay. Now it seems so dull over here. Okay, fine. We'll be that way. But these ones that were par baked and then reheated, and so they're at about a similar toastiness on the bottom. This looks a lot more moist, and it doesn't look like it's so like gummy jammy like you have in the in Pop Tarts. So I'm gonna try the gummy jammy one. Yeah. Hmm. This is a lot more like the jam than the other one I had. And this is the thicker crust, so I think maybe the crust helped protect the insides from cooking as much so that they weren't so bad. This is actually pretty good. This actually is about perfect for what I wanted. The crust is just a little too thick and it's more pie-like than like toaster pastry-like, so I would like it a little bit more on the other side. But I can work on that. This is really good. Um, but we got this one, which is the ones that I par baked and then baked again. Hmm. I almost feel like this crust is um butterier, like crispier. I like this so much better. Oh. Mm, okay. I'm definitely gonna have to try these other ones. I'm just gonna eat this because this is delicious. Um, yeah, I think I overbaked these. You gotta see this. I was trying to pick one of these up, and they're all, like the jam is all burnt together. But like, if you compare the bottoms, I didn't pay close enough attention to these. This was my fault. Hmm, it's not fair. But you can see that this has like the jam to it. So I think that this one, it doesn't look like this one really spilled much, and this one really spilled much. Which I think these were the thick crust ones, and I think this was the thin crust one. So I think I just didn't put the thin crust ones together very well. Like that's shattering. I mean, that's you can tell that that's like charcoal. Yeah, that was bad. I can smell. It smells like molasses. It has that kind of burnt sugar taste to it. I can smell to it. Let me see it. It kind of tastes like burnt marshmallows. I'll probably eat it anyway. Maybe not. We'll see. Um. Oh wait, yeah, those were delicious. Those were awesome. I'm really happy with the way all of that turned out. Let's let's take this cam and we're gonna come over a little bit over here and check on our dough. It's looking really nice. It's nice and raised. I do think it needs like 5, 10 more minutes. And so that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay, so we got the stuff. Oh, we're gonna need to cook the English muffins here in a minute. I'm like, what are we doing next? We are cooking English muffins. The pan I want to use is in the sink. We'll use a different pan. Those are not the pans we are using. Those are not the droids you are looking for. That's the pan we're using. We got this. We got this. Okay. So we have that pan. It's cooling down. Move the biscuits back over here because I just put them on this pan for the time being. Okay. Dump. All right. There was a hot hand thingy. Oh, it's under the cold pan. We're gonna put this over here for now. It's not hot enough that it's gonna like I can pick it up, but I can only pick it up for a few minutes before it starts getting to be too hot. Okay. So now that we're back over here, yeah, we're done with these for right now. And just kind of wipe the crumbs off. That's good. Actually, I think that the dough should be about ready because rising time. But diddly pumpernickel, I forgot I need cornmeal, and my cornmeal is out in the garage. So come with me if you want to live. We're gonna go run away. We're going to the garage to get cornmeal. I have a lot of my extra baking supplies out here in the garage because we just don't have enough space in the house. And so we have shelves and shelves and shelves. And look, cornmeal. I know it doesn't say cornmeal, but it's cornmeal. It's yellowy and cornmealy. It's not my masa, I can definitely tell you that. Okay. Here we are. Here we go. All right, so we need to sprinkle corn. I think this is corn flour. Oops. We'll pretend and nobody has to know. So we're sprinkling corn flour, cornmeal all over here. I think I got a little deep last time. A little too. Oh, I'm like, where did I put the flour? Okay, so we're good there. And we move this over here. Rearrange our seating arrangements. I don't think that's gonna work right now. What are we gonna do? I totally got flour all over my camera. That is hilarious. This is not working the way I wanted to. Okay, that's okay. I'll leave you here. Be alright. You just turn and talk to you from time to time. Sad face. Alright. We have a bowl of dough. Bowl of dough. We need flour. I'm assuming we need flour because we're rolling out dough and that usually needs flour. Sprinkle, 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 flour everywhere. There's flour on the camera now from where I moved it with floury hands. I think that's hilarious. It's okay. That's all right. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Dough ball. Dough ball. Sprinkle of flour. Yeah. Seen those videos? They're so weird. I think it's funny because you have the like Swedish chick who does it, and then the Hawaiian guy that like copies her. So funny. So funny. All right. So we're just rolling out the dough. We need it to be like half an inch, 4 or 5 centimeters, something like that. We need the dough to be dough-like and delicious. I didn't oil the top. You can see it. You can see. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. I can see it. There was like a crust, and the crust is crackly. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Is that rolled out enough? I think so. All right. I'm going to take our little cutter, dip it in my flour off to the side. Flour dip. I don't think that did much, but shh, we're pretending. Start over here. Just going to work from one side to the next. And just keep going. Yeah, we need a better situation for the camera. Because I feel like y'all are looking at my ear a lot. We need to fix that. These are actually cutting really nicely. I am impressed at like how nicely these are cutting. I'm gonna put them on their little board. I guess technically it's a board. It's a sheet pan with corn flour. I think it's corn flour, which is cornmeal's finer cousin. It's just kind of ground up more. So it's just a little bit, I said finer, it's just finer cousin. All right, we're just gonna put all of these on the corn flour thing. And these still have to rise for a little while. What are we gonna do while these rise? Uh-oh. I don't know. But we are gonna leave these on the stove top to rise because you can tell I didn't do this evenly. Like that's that size. And then you got like this one, which has corn flour on the bottom already. But like it's that size on one side and that size on the other. I did not roll these evenly. Squish it a little. Squish a little. It's fine, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure. Okay. I think too much flour, but that's okay. Just gonna mix it together a little bit more and roll it out again. The only thing with doing this kind of thing is that you've now pushed all of the air out of it and you just made it like you mixed it. So all of the gluten fibers are all tight again. So it's gonna take a few minutes before it'll really relax, and it's not really mixing together really well. Like I can see where it comes together. You see it shrinking? Do you see it shrinking back up? Like, roll it out. And it shrinks back up. Yeah, those bearings need oiled. Okay, I think that's good. We're just gonna keep cutting. These are thin. These are way thinner than the other ones. But it didn't want to come together. I had to. We'll put these somewhere else. That'll be okay. Oh man. Okay. So let's try it one more time. We're just gonna roll it one more time, and then I'll probably get one or two more because right now I got 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see how those stack up. This camera is gonna drive me crazy. This is my talking camera. Because otherwise I don't have a way to see lovely people. Alright, fine. We're gonna just remove this for right now. We'll go over straight to this one. This one has the more fun view anyway. You're only seeing my ear in the other one, so I might as well. Alright. Get that out of the way. That looks a little thicker. I don't think it looks much thicker. Gotta find somewhere to raise those. Those babies need a raisin. Alright. So do 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 do. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Okay. All right, and I think this is gonna be the last one because I don't think it doesn't want to be one. We're gonna make it be one. You shall be one. All right, and that's just enough dough to do nothing with. I think we're gonna. We'll you know what? We'll raise it anyway, and we'll test it out on the pan. We'll use it as our pan testers. Ooh, that's what we can use these other ones for too. Like we'll use the pretty ones for pretty stuff, and then these will be the pan testers. I like it. Thanks for giving me such a great idea, guys. Really appreciate it. Okay. So, where did I put the corn flour? Over here. All right. And I think these need to raise for a while, like 20 or 30 minutes. I don't know what we're going to do in the meantime, but we got these. These are going to be here. I'm going to put towel. I'm balancing them precariously here on the stove so that they can still use the warmth, the warmness from the stove from where I just was cooking things. That. Okay. hopefully I can cook these up pretty quickly. And yes, I did mean to put the damp cloth on there and not the dry cloth that I had been using, because the damp cloth hold a little bit more moisture to the surface and keep them from drying out so much. So that was on purpose. Okay. That's awesome. Last night we had tacos, and so I fried corn tortillas just in some oil, and I had made extras for the kids to eat after they were done with dinner, and they didn't eat them, and I forgot about them when I was putting food away last night. I think I put food away and I was leaving them out for them, and then I forgot to put them away. And so right now they're so like hard. But they have this stale flavor to them, so I don't know if I can like reheat them and use them as tostadas or if they're just done. We'll have to see. Okay. Just wiping up all that flour. We have our clean counter. Neat. So let's talk about puff pastry. Puff magic pastry. Bad joke? All right. We're gonna sit on the floor. I want to sit, and we don't have a chair in here, and we're not gonna go get a chair. Okay. Where are we gonna sit? We're gonna sit in the corner. Okay. So, in the upcoming week, so on Tuesday, the plan is to take that butter and turn it into puff pastry. And depending on how these English muffins turn out, they may or may not. We may or may not be making another English muffin recipe. I didn't like the way that the way that I did Alton Brown's recipe. That didn't turn out very good. And I could try to go back through and try those recipes again and see if I can make them work a little bit better. But I'm not sure if that's a thing or not. So if you want to let me know, like you can let me know and we'll see about doing that. But otherwise, right now we have to wait and see how these English muffins turn out. So puff pastry does have some time of just kind of chilling, literally. So getting the butter cold again so that you can roll it out and still have it stay in the layers. So it's gonna have to sit and chill for a little bit, and I was thinking that would be a good time to make some English muffins, but I don't know what's going on with that. We made pie dough and we used it to make hand pies, and those were delicious. I could do like a savory pie dough, and we could see about that. That could be a thing. I'm not sure. So the next thing so I've got to figure out what's due in between puff pastry on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, what are we gonna do with puff pastry? Like, I can't get the roast or fillets. We can't make the Wellington. We can't make the beef Wellington. So sorry about that. But we could make something else Wellington, like salmon, or we could just make like apple turnovers. But that feels kind of boring. Um, Well, but think. Put your suggestions, even if it's a recipe I might not know. So I know that some people were here from other countries. If you put in a recipe from another country with a puff pastry, if I have the ingredients or if I can get the ingredients, then I'll see about trying to make it, but because I'm trying to learn how to make all kinds of things. So puff pastry is one of them. I've never made puff pastry before, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, no, if you have a dish that is from your country that you would like to see me make with puff pastry, I will definitely try that because I love trying some new recipes. Um, yeah, let me know, and I will do that. But for the moment, I don't really have an idea. Like, there's lots and lots you can do with puff pastry, so it's not like it's going to be hard to find something to do. It's just I don't have anything specific just yet, but I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Um, Trying something. Now I'm kind of stuck on the idea of the Wellington. I don't think I'll take all of puff pastry. Does baklava use puff pastry? I think that uses something else. I was thinking about that. Like, I'll have to look up that recipe, but I don't know. I have lots of honey, and I could probably use different nuts other than I think use pistachios. I don't know. I might have pistachios. I don't know. Have to look. Have to look for recipes. Okay, so trying to give these things time to rise. I don't think anybody's here talking. Nope, nobody's chatting. So that's fine. Kind of in a resting period right now, anyway. So, I'm thinking of naming the sourdough starter Timmy or Tony. Tony. And Tony Stinky. Tony Stinky. And one of the things I'm thinking of trying is emptying all of the sourdough starter and just leaving whatever's on the edges, adding fresh water and flour, and having that starter inoculate that, and then like doing that again. So I just fed Tony right before this. I'm also thinking of putting him in a jar because I have some mason jars that I washed recently, and I think Tony would be happier in a mason jar. Yep. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to like empty this flour and water, let it sit for like 12 hours, empty it, flour and water, let it rise, and then move it into a jar. And hopefully it won't be stinky. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Because it's super it's very sour smelling. Now it's not like rotten sour. It's just it's a very pungent sour. Like, this is a very aromatic sourdough, is what it is right now. And so I think that's more of the acidic buildup from letting it sit for too long for a couple of days. and just stirring it all together. So I think that's what happened. And so I want to try to get some more of the bacteria or some more of the sourdough starter like going again, but maybe just not so sour. But yeah, so I did want to make sourdough. Ooh, ooh. We might do that on Tuesday. Some sourdough. Yes. Sourdough English muffins on Tuesday. Okay, so we're making puff pastry and we're making sourdough English muffins. Bam, bam. See, I knew that there was a good thing for us to do with the puff pastry. Like, not to while we were making the puff pastry. Something cool to do while we were making puff pastry. So we'll make puff pastry and sourdough English muffins and then we'll figure out something to make with the puff pastry on Thursday. And worst case scenario, um, I'll find something brand new to make because I love watching like the English Bake Off, the American Bake Off, like both of those. And so maybe I'll go through the Great British Bake Off and like pick a season and just start and go through and try to make some of these things. Something else that I've thought about doing is going through Crime Scene Kitchen because I love that show and making the dessert that it actually makes and then like seeing what I would see in a kitchen from making that. So that would be cool. Now I don't think they're gonna use the same pastries over and over again. So if I ever wanted to like be on Cranston Kitchen, I don't necessarily think that that's a good idea. But yeah. Also, I'm thinking of having a sit down where I just go through and fill out some baking applications. I might do that on like a Saturday or Sunday and just kind of either gather information for baking applications or go through and like actually put it together. So if you'd be interested in that, just leave like a comment thing. That would be awesome. Yeah, if you want to have a one-on-one baking lesson with me, you can go to my website, jenniferhoopsmorgan.squarespace.com, and sign up for a one-on-one baking lesson or sign up for a consultation if you have like a recipe idea that you want to talk about or if you want to even see if you need a recipe consultation, like a one-on-one cooking class consultation thing. Yeah. Stuff and things. Things and stuff. All right. How much time has passed? You don't know? Oh, thought you were gonna help me. On me. Ow. My knees don't like that. Well, some of these are puffing up nicely. Like all of the nice ones I did in the beginning, those are all puffed up nice. These would probably be good to start cooking. Maybe not this one. This is one of the seconds that I cut. So it's not puffing up as nicely, but still puffing up pretty nicely. And then look over here. And like this one's puffing up really nicely. This is the second to last one I made. This is the last one I made. So these are kind of puffing up nicely, ish. So, let's do some rearranging. Okay. So you are going to go back to the food camera. here on the food camera. I'll get you to go back down. Bow to in. No melting the tripod. Okay, good enough. I'm gonna put this on like 1. Really low. Really, really low. How low can go? Okay, and then this is in here. And to do it over here. Can you see me? Kitty. Okay. Add to stage. Et voila. So it's just going to be a few minutes while the pan heats up. And so I figured that's enough time to let this kind of finish rising. I'm not sure which way you'd call it. I'm just going to put a blanket back over these over here. Those are going to be super fluffy. These are going to be not as fluffy. We'll see. Okay. Actually, let's put the little weird pieces in here while the pan heats up. And we'll see what's going on. Okay, so we have a plan for Tuesday. Let's write down plans. So Tuesday is puff pastry and Popeye's chicken. No, I don't have a Popeye's. What is this other one? Shoot. Okay, hold on. Okay, and sourdough English muffins. Okay, so we have that idea. We're going good. This is awesome. So I was gonna do like a blog from Monday and what the results came out from those pastries, but then I decided that I just wanted to do them all at the same time. So that blog should be out tomorrow, again on the Jennifer Hoops Hoopes Morgan. Yep. That's the. So yeah. So we're just on a rock in outer space. Hey, it looks like cell phone signal. The cell phone signal is strong. I can't remember if these are supposed to have an oil or not. I don't think so. I don't think there's supposed to be an oil on the pan for these. Okay. We're just toasting away. Toasting away. Toast away, toast away, toast away. Would you all want to come and hang out with me while I apply for um baking shows? Well, not baking shows, baking stuff. Ooh, person. Hello, prominent streamer. I really admire your up. No, no thanks. Oh, so hand pies. We talked a little bit about the hand pies earlier. Let's pull some stuff out. These are the pan is heating up, so it's cooking. So let's see. Let's bring out the pies. Bring out the pies. Uh, these are the ones that were completely frozen, and I completely overbaked them, and they spilled out everywhere. But they're doing okay. Um, yeah, they're a little bit dark. I did a little too much. Then let's see which one of this. This is one of the jam. This is the jam that, and these ones right here, these are all ones. These are all ones that I had par baked and then toasted. Like I cooked them in the oven again. And these are much better than the ones that I just cooked from the beginning. So I'm not sure if these are just burnt. I haven't actually tried any of these yet because I forgot to do the egg wash. I forgot to coat them in something. I was just like, let me get them in the oven. I did put holes in them and I put them all the way through the top because these ones ended up with like a little pocket in them. And like if you squish it, it's fine, but it seems like a little pocket. Yeah, no, they're absolutely delicious. I do like the ones with the berries, the pie filling, better than the ones with the blackberry, Marionberry jam. Just because the jam ones, the jam kind of cooked a little bit more, and so it was more like the inside of a Pop Tart than a pie, and I just like the creaminess of the pie filling better. But that's one of the great things about being able to bake your own stuff. So and I think the muffins are basically ready. These are all my like the second and third the can more and more and more that I rolled out. All of the first cut ones are over here. They're so nice looking. Like I just don't want to cook these first because I don't want them to like get burnt and not be as pretty. Like I want the pretty ones to look pretty when I cook them, not to just kind of meh. Yes, trial and error is a big part of this. This is why I'm doing this, is because um like there's a lot of these things that I would love to know how to bake that I don't know how, and so I figure if I just keep trying them I could eventually make them. Like English muffins are supposed to be really easy, but the whole last batch that I made was a little less than desirable. They were half burnt and um like I made ones that had yeast and those just like the centers were gooey, and then I made ones that were baking powder and they turned out more like a biscuit and those just weren't good. Mhm. Oh yeah. I've been obsessed with making food since I was real little. Like I can remember being like 4 years old and so excited that I could make toast and like spaghettios. Like those were the things I could make, and I was so proud of myself to be able to make those. But everybody starts somewhere, right? Gosh, yeah. No, I actually out of high school I wanted to go to culinary school. I was accepted to Johnson and Wales in North Carolina, they were opening their Charlotte campus. I was going to be part of the inaugural class. That word did not work. Um, but I can only get financial aid for about 15,000 a year, and that school was 30,000 a year. So I did not go to that school. Instead, I went to a state school and I got a degree in food service management, where I proceeded to be a server and bartender in restaurants. Oh, and cook for a little bit. But cooking at Applebee's is not the same as being like a chef or a cook. All right, I'm feeling the heat from the pan. These are not toasty yet, but they have been sitting on there for a little while, so I'm just going to flip them over a little. And this has berries on it. This is the flipper I was using earlier, so we're going to put it in the sink. But yeah, I wanted to be a pastry chef. That's what I wanted to do. So now it looks like I'm working on it in my own way. I like it. It's funny, I had to jump around to a couple of things before I decided on pastry chef too, because like the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to be a doctor, and then I decided after helping to take care of my younger siblings that I didn't like bodily fluids, and I didn't want to play with other people's bodily fluids. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can be a vet. Like, you can help take care of animals, and that'll be super cool because I love animals. But then I started thinking about the different aspects of the job, and I'm like, I can't tell 8-year-old Timmy that I have to put his dog down because his dog's old, or his dog has cancer, or something like that. So I'm like, not gonna do that one. And decided pediatrician, but then that's when like the bodily fluid thing like really solidified for me, and I decided not pediatrician. So I was going to go into nutrition. I actually, for my first year in college, the track I was on was nutrition, but I didn't like a lot of the nutrition classes. And then I found out that my school actually offered a food service management degree. It was like I would be in the first year that they offered it, and so I did that one. And I graduated a while ago, and I've been working in restaurants, and I learned how to bartend and do all that kind of stuff. But like I've always wanted to do baking shows, and I've always wanted to do something with baking or cooking. Like my family used to joke all the time that I was going to be on like Chopped or something like that. And so, especially since I saw Crime Scene Kitchen, Crime Scene Kitchen, I think it's on Fox in the US, something like that. Its basic idea is that somebody baked something in their kitchen, and the different teams have to go in, look at the remnants of what was made. Like they don't get to see the actual product. They get just to see like there's eggs in the trash can, or there's like cream cheese wrappers in the trash can, or like there was a whisk with meringue on it or something like that. So be able to tell what the dish is and then remake it. And so I thought that sounds like so much fun. I want to do that. Um, when my husband's better, hopefully he'll do that with me. I think that'd be awesome. I think he would be great with me on that. But if not, I'll make my mom do it. She doesn't know that, but I'll make her do it. And so yeah, I think that would be absolutely amazing to be able to go on there. So the deadline for 2024 was like November, December, and so I couldn't sign up for this next year. And so I figured that maybe I can sign up for 2025 and I can spend 2024 baking all different kinds of things and kind of getting an internal recipe cards of all different kinds of things so that if I go, if I'm able to go onto something like Crimson Kitchen and then they have all these baked goods, then I'm hoping I'll be able to like pick the one out. I was just checking for any more comments. But yeah, so that's I'm hoping to be able to apply to some cooking shows and to some stuff like that, and I'm hoping that at the end of the day I'll be able to do something. I'm even trying to find like local contests, but I haven't been by the local rec center in a while. I usually go on Monday and Wednesday, but the something happened. Oh, my six for kids on Monday. My kids were sick on Monday, and that kind of threw my whole week off. And so I didn't go by there yet. So I'm gonna go by there and see if I can find anything. I looked on their local Facebook page because they're usually fairly active there. But I didn't see anything there either. So I was thinking I could try to find something in Las Vegas, but I don't know. And then I don't go to church. So I'd have to find if there's like a local church. I'm hoping like somebody could do something for like an Easter bake off or something. Maybe a Valentine's Day bake off. That'd be nice. So at the moment we're just gonna apply for like big cooking show ones because that's what we got. Okay. So these are kind of cooked, but they're also like a weird shape. So um I am going to try putting these on. Like I said, these are my seconds. So these are the ones that didn't quite make the cut. Um, like not make they just I had to roll out the dough again and again to get these. I'm trying to fit 5 in here. Maybe 6. Can I fit 6 in the pan? There were 6 in the bed, and the littlest said, "Roll over, roll over." So they all rolled over, and one fell out. Oh, I think there's one over here. Yeah, it's not as pretty as those. So you're gonna come over here. All right. I probably have way too much going on in this pan. Shh. Don't tell them, and they won't know that it's happening. All right, so that's one pan. These guys said 5 to 7 minutes on one side. 5 to 7 minutes on one side. I don't know if I believe that. So. Uh-oh. Okay. So I just had one of these little pieces. It is a little doughy, so it didn't cook through all the way. I did turn this up a little bit. Like the first time I did these, I did them on like 5, and when I was doing them, they kept burning. Like they would burn in a minute, and so I'm not sure if it was the pan or what with the recipe or what was going on. So I started these on like 2, 1.5, and these are, well, that last one wasn't cooked, but this is nice. This is nice. These are gonna be awesome. I have to, like, I'm gonna link Josh's video, and I'm gonna put something about my video in there because, well, yeah, but these turned out awesome. Well, this did anyway. And so I have no doubt that these are gonna turn out awesome. Like, I'm so excited for this. These, I'm gonna eat these. I'm gonna eat these. These are it reminds me kind of a pretzel. But they're underdone, so that's why it's reminding me of a pretzel because it has like the harder outer shell, and then the inside is like soft. Oh my goodness, that's why it's reminding me of a pretzel. But the flavor on these is amazing. So I'm imagining once these cook up, it'll be amazing too. Cool. Awesome. They've only been on for like 2 minutes. I need to leave things alone and not touch them. So it's cooking. This is awesome. I can't wait to try one of those. This is what I was hoping for last week before, whenever we're making these. This is what I was hoping for. This is amazing. YouTube recipes. Use YouTube recipes. Don't use recipes from the internet. I know YouTube is the internet, but don't do a random search for recipes and then use those recipes. Use YouTube recipes. Oh, this was an awesome decision. I'm so glad I made this decision today. Thanks for coming with me on making this decision. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Tony. The name is Tony. I need to put its name on it. Where? There. Oh, the green Sharpie. Put green Sharpie name on Tony. Smells almost like Parmesan cheese. Yeah, my sourdough starter smells like Parmesan cheese. We're naming the sourdough starter Tony. Why? I don't know. Because that's the name I thought of. So, it says Tony. Tony's a stinky boy. Tony apparently smells like Parmesan cheese. Now that I think of it as Parmesan cheese, I think it smells delicious. I'll have to hang out with Tony and see what he thinks. We're definitely going to have to try out that sourdough starter because that's actually starting to smell good. All right. It's been 5 minutes, so I feel like I can lightly brown. Lightly brown. Lightly brown. You know what? I'm going to start flipping these over because that's the kind of color brown I want on them. And they've been in here for like 5 minutes. So they could technically be flipped over and be fine. Dang, that was the last one I put in there too. Oh no! Okay, that needs a minute. Should I be using a spatula? Probably. Probably be a lot easier with a spatula and not just my bare hands. But if I didn't just bare hand it, then who would I be? Wouldn't be me. I'd be somebody else. So we'll just bare hand it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. I have 6 and 5, so we could do 7 and 4, or 5 and 6. What do you want to see? Do you want to see 765? You know, now I have to do that. Sorry, I have now decided. I have decided. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put more dents in it as I handle them. Okay, I'm gonna give them 2 more minutes and then flip them over. And I just gotta remember that those need 2 more minutes. But be fair, that side of the pan was off of the actual eye, and so it wasn't as hot. This is why like cast iron, because cast iron helps like heat and everything out, and it retains heat. And that I don't have all. I have a little cast iron pan. My big cast iron pan is rusty, and I haven't done the things to fix it yet because that's an involved process, and um, I haven't felt like going on my cast iron to get off all the little rusty bits, and then to go through and sand the whole thing, to go through and coat it and season it. Yeah, that's a process, and I do want to do that process. I just haven't had the energy to do it, so I'm not doing it right now. But I only gave it a minute. It's good enough. Good enough. Now they're toasted. This is awesome. This is awesome. These are turning out so good so far. Like these look amazing. I am very excited about these. I think that this is going to be awesome. I think this is going to be amazing. I'm really excited for these. I originally wanted to make some breakfast sandwiches, but the last ones were just so bad that I couldn't. Like I couldn't, like with a good conscience, make those into breakfast sandwiches. That nah, no. Like all of those went into the trash because like I am the kind of person who like if there is food, I want to save it. I want to try to eat it. I couldn't eat those. I couldn't eat them. So the trash ate them. Hmm. But if these are as good as they look and smell, then these are definitely going in, like gonna be made into breakfast sandwiches. Like I think that's gonna be a thing today. Well, not today. I'm not gonna make them today, but I think that these are gonna be what I need so that I can make them. Okay, these are closing in on the 5 minute mark. I flipped the last one at 2:45. So these ones I'd started flipping earlier than that. I think I am going to turn it down just a tad. Just because I'm not sure how these are cooked on the inside. I think that I definitely have to see, but I think that these aren't getting cooked all the way through. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll have to see. Okay, 1 more minute, and that'll be 5 minutes. So they've cooked at least 5 minutes on each side. So this says 5 to 7 minutes on each side. So it's 10 to 14 minutes. Am I overthinking this? I think I'm overthinking this. It's okay. I just want these to turn out good. And they didn't turn out so great last time. Not this recipe. I tried other recipes. This is the first time I tried this recipe. So I'm good at following recipes. That I can do. I can even like make recipes, like make up my own recipes. Those are things I'm good at. Those are things I can do. The recipes that I did before somehow like I don't know. I'll have to try them again. Maybe it's me. Ow! Why did I do that? Why? Like, grabbing the edges, okay, it's, like, really warm over here, but it feels doughy. Okay. Science. I have to cut it open for science. It's really hot. Yeah, they're a little doughy. So they need just like 2 more minutes. It smells so good. You can see. Or I took a bite. Maybe. You have like a crisp layer, and there's like this dark layer, and that's just where everything like compressed together and made the bite. They're still good. Where's that buttermilk? Yeah, fresh buttermilk. So yeah, I only used salted butter. So I was afraid that these might not have enough salt, which I don't think they do. I think I should have put the salt in too. But butter it. There it is. That's perfect. So yeah, it just needs a little bit more time. We still feel doughy. It's funny because these are feeling better. These are feeling better than those. Okay. I'm gonna get off this live. Not right now. Before I get off this live stream, I'm gonna go end up eating all of these pastries. This is just so good. That's amazing. Okay. Okay. Girl's Got Talent. I found a recipe. I like this one. This is a good recipe. So we're gonna try a sourdough recipe on Tuesday. So that'll be fun. See what the sourdough happens. So what happens with the sourdough? There we go. Mhm. I don't think these are like they sound pretty good, but I think they could use just like a little bit more toasting. I don't know. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Will it actually fit 7? I hope so. 6. Oh, apparently we're doing 7 and 4. I forgot that I'd wanted to do 7, 6, 5. So we're just doing 7 and 4. Hello, welcome. It's nice to see you. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. All right, so these are turning out nicely so far. This is that first one I made, and it's feeling a lot drier now that it's kind of sat out. I am gonna put some butter on it and see if it's still sticky like the first half was. Maybe I just didn't wait long enough. I'm hoping that these will kind of steam out. Like they have that nice sound to them, so I'm hoping that they turn out okay. And they have that nice muffled sound to it. So I'm hoping that turns out okay. This half went a lot better when I bit into it. You see how the layers are all separate and it's fluffy and it's not like really dark like it was, like the other one was. This is just the other half of it. Those will be fine. Those will be fine. Okay. So say these been in for 2 minutes. So we'll just wait a little bit longer. Do you eat English muffins? These are kind of small. But I'm not sure if that's because I just used a small cutter or if it's because they just cut out small. But these definitely need a little bit more salt. So I didn't put salt in the dough when I was making it. I only put salted butter. So next time I'll either add the salt and the salted butter or just the salt. So, notes for in the future. This is turning out really well. I'm really, really excited for this. All right. Cool. I'm glad you guys stopped by. Thanks for hanging out. We're still hanging out. We're watching paint dry or English muffins cook or whatever you want to call it. We're just hanging out right now. I need to find some music to play because I like having music in the background. I was trying to get you all to hear that sound on there because those sound really good. We're coming up on the 5-minute mark, and so I think they're still light, so definitely going to give these the 2 more minutes that they want. At least like another minute and a half or so, and then we'll go ahead and flip them because they're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good. It's fairly dark actually. Like that one's still kind of light. So Let's go through. That one's kind of light. That one's kind of light. So these three are kind of light. So we'll go ahead and flip these over. And these are on the darker side, but come to the dark side. We have English muffins. Oh man, I think that cookies is a better recruiting tool than English muffins, for the dark side at least. If you're a baking fanatic like I am and you love baked goods, then maybe this wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere for English muffins though. It's like, come and get a free batch of English muffins. I'll be like, that's cool. Do you maybe want to bring that over here? I'll take it over here. That'd be great. Nope. Okay, cool. Well, then I will just have it over here then. So yeah, I think all of the fun stuff happened earlier, and I ran out of fun stuff to do, because I did. So these cooked for more like 7 minutes. Look, those look so good. Oh, I'm so excited for this recipe. Yes, Josh Westman, Weissman. Yeah, no, that's a link that's going somewhere because these are my favorite now. We'll see if we can get a sourdough sourdough. Maybe we can add starter dough to these. I don't think that the sourdough is actually going to be able to rise them unless we start it overnight. Oh, maybe I can start one like the night before with the yeast and let it like raise up. I'm gonna rise up, we'll rise like a day. And then I can make them into English muffins and actually have some sourdoughs. We'll have to see. Like I have recipes to try. Oh goodness. Okay, and then we gotta come up with a puff pastry recipe for Thursday. We'll have to look into that. Yes, that is what we're looking at. Where's click? Who's clicking at me? McDonald's is clicking at me. Oh, see, who needs McDonald's? Who needs McDonald's? I am McDonald's. Welcome to McDonald's. Welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? Would you like a McMuffin today? We are cooking our English muffins as we speak. So let's look at something. And that's supposed to be something specific, not just me randomly looking around at things. Okay, give me a second. Let me go get a mason jar lid. So this is what I usually use to cut biscuits and stuff like that. This is the cutter. This is the biscuit cutter. Like, there's only that much difference. Like, is that much really going to make a difference? Should I go back to using this? It's not that much smaller. It's not that much smaller. It doesn't like just fit inside there, but it like there's not that much space. I don't think it would make them that much bigger around, would it? Would it make them that much bigger around? I don't think so, because it's just a little bit of space there. It's just a little bit of space. I wonder if I cut them out, like if I rolled them a little bit on the thicker side, and I cut them out, and then I like rolled them a little bit more, so that They were a little bit thinner. I wonder if that would work. I want them a little bit bigger around. I want them like that big around. And they're not. I think it actually is by like just about that much. Oh man, I think it really might make a difference. Oh no. Oh man. Really? Okay. Right now, let's cut it open. This is one of the thicker ones. I'm gonna see if it got cooked through all the way. And it is a little steamy, but I think that once it's toasted, that'll be fine. Oh my gosh! Yeah, these just turned out amazing. These turned out amazing. We need to add some more salt to them next time we make them, but these turned out amazing. I am so happy with this recipe. Or at least the way I made this recipe. This one turned out good. That is the point. That is definitely the point. All right. These have been down for like 5 minutes. Not quite so much on those. Like, these still feel heavy. Now I have to turn these down. See, this is what was happening last time. I have these on 2 now. Like, can you hear the difference in that? Between that? The difference between that and, like, this sounds like dudded. I don't know. It doesn't sound right. It sounds like there's something in the way, which is the moisture. It's not exactly the moisture. It's the moisture in the dough. And it's making the dough thick. But when you get it out of the dough, then the dough becomes bread and it's not thick anymore. Oh, okay. I'm really ready to be done for today. All right. So I have 4 more to cook. These are turning out amazing. I'm probably going to turn them into breakfast sandwiches because this is what I wanted them for. And now I have them and it's amazing. If you can think of recipes for something with a puff pastry from your country, another country, your favorite recipe, even if it's from America, I don't care. Give me a recipe. See, let's try it. If not, I'm gonna come up with something, which that could be fun. But we have a week. 6 days. Let me know by Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I need to know. And we'll make it. So thanks for hanging out. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, do the things there. I don't know. But I'm gonna finish with these. We've had the 4 more to cook. I'm gonna take these off of here. I don't like this. I don't like how underdone they're done. But they don't sound right. But we're gonna take them off so they don't burn. I hope that like maybe when we toast them they'll be better. So got those. We're gonna cook some more. Yeah, I got the 4 more we're gonna cook. And thanks for why I'm cooking on this. Yep. I had to flip that over on accident. Sure, let's flip it over. Let's try these flipped over. Flip these over first. Fine, you can hang out while I do this. No, you can't. Thanks for hanging out. I will let you know how this turns out, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.